Hi, and welcome to today's YouTube video. Welcome back. I've got a little bit of a mat curling situation. Today we're just going to do a really gentle flow. So if you're feeling kind of stiff through the shoulders, through the hips, through the hamstrings, we're just going to kind of move around a little bit so you feel really good. It's like the end of my work day and I just need to wiggle around and move. So if you're feeling sort of stiff, this should be really helpful. Let's start in an all fours position. Curl your toes, spread your fingers, and position yourself so your shoulders are directly over your wrists. With all 10 toes curled, you're going to lean back, press into the heels, and like really push into the big toes too. Try to get a good stretch across the bottoms of the feet. And then you can kind of come out of it for a second, go back into it. So you'll just come out, go in. As you're here, make sure that you're not sinking into the shoulders. You really want to kind of push the mat away, and that'll help to keep your shoulders safe, keep your core a little bit engaged. We'll do this one more time. And then the next time you come out of it, let's move into the wrists a bit. So come out of it, we'll turn the fingers out to the side, and we'll just go side to side with straight arms. Keeping your core strong so your low back is protected, kind of pushing the ground away so your upper back almost feels like it's rounded, so you're not like sinking into the shoulders there. And then from here, let's turn so the fingers are pointed towards the body. You can curl your toes again and just lean back ever so slightly. Maybe it's just an inch or two. You'll begin to feel that. And then from here, we'll get into the front of the wrists. So turn one hand, let's do the left hand, that the fingers are pointed forward. Then you're gonna flip your right hand. Don't put too much pressure on that right hand, and then lean back with a straight arm. It should feel really nice for the forearm. And then let's switch sides. So right hand down, left hand flips, and lean back a little bit. And then release. From here, curl your toes, lift your hips up and back into downward dog, and then the second you reach downward dog, come forward, knees down onto the ground. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, push the ground away so your upper back feels like it's rounded. Lift your hips up and back, come forward onto your knees, squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the ground away, lift the hips up and back. We'll do that 2 more times. Knees come down onto the ground, squeeze the shoulder blades together with straight arms. Round your back by pushing the ground away, lift your hips up and back. 1 more time. Knees come down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, push the ground away, lift the hips up and back. And one at a time, pedal out your legs, so just bend one knee and then the other. Keep pushing the ground away actively, so think about long armpits. And then come to stillness, and we'll step the right foot towards the front. Lift up, hands to hips. Press the hips down. Keep your back leg really straight. Lean back, lift up through the chest. Take your gaze up. And then exhale, hands come down to the ground. Knee comes down to the ground. Lift the arms up and back. Hands come down, knee lifts up, hands to hips. Lean back, lift up out of the sternum. Lower the hands. Woo, this is a test of the balance. Knees come down, lift the arms, hips go forward, upper body goes back. Hands come down, lift the knee, hands to hips, lean back, lift up out of the sternum so you're not dumping into the low back. From here, hands come down to frame the front foot, step back into a plank position, and then up and back, downward dog. Step forward with the left leg, hands to hips. Sink low through the hips, straight back leg. Puff the chest out, look up, lean back. Press through the front heel. Lower the hands down, knee comes down, right knee. Inhale, lift the arms up and back. Take your gaze up towards the sky or the ceiling. Lower the hands down, lift the back knee, hands to hips. Sink low through the hips, lean back, lift up out of the sternum, press through the front heel. Lower hands down, lower knee down, lift the arms up and back. Hands come down, knee lifts up, hands to hips, lean back, lift up out of the sternum. Hands come down, step back into a plank position, and then bring the right hand right underneath the face. You can lower the right knee down onto the ground and kind of pivot on that knee and lift the left arm up to the sky. You can stay here, or let's go up and down with that knee. So squeeze the knee together to the other knee and then lower down. Getting a little bit of activation through the obliques. 2 more. And last one. And then lower left hand down, plank position. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to turn. So left hand underneath your face, left knee down onto the ground, pivot on that left knee. Option to stay there and just hold if that's enough for you. Or if you need a little bit more of a challenge, you can come up and down. 2, 3, really squeeze the knees together. 4, and 1 more. 5. Plank position. And lift up and back, downward dog. On your next breath in, step the right foot forward, followed by left. Inhale, bring the hands to your shins, lengthen through your spine. See how long you can get, and reach out through the crown of the head. Little micro bend of the knees, send your hips way back so your knees are directly over the ankles. And then as you exhale, bend your knees so much your belly reaches your thighs. And then let the head hang. And then imagine you have a string tied around your tailbone and lift up from that string until you get a really good stretch across the hamstrings. Then bend the knees, hands to shins, weight in the heels, push the shins away with your arms. Take your gaze out in front of you about 2 or 3 feet off the mat. Strengthen through your core. Lift up from the tailbone. And then exhale, bend your knees deeply, send your hips back even more, let your head hang heavy. Ground down through the heels, rise all the way up. Exhale, arms by your side. Hands are going to come out in front of you, but plug the shoulders into the body. Then come up onto your tiptoes and lower down slowly, slowly with control. Good. Once you get to the bottom, press down through the feet. See if you can get back up. Let's do that one more time. Lower down slowly with control. If you wobble or fall, no big deal. Get right back up. Lots of control. Last time, we're going to lower all the way down to a squatting position. And then you can take your feet out to the side a little bit, lower down onto the heels, and then lift up. So we're going to rock and roll back and forth. 2 more times. Once you're here, whether you decide to stay up on the tiptoes or down onto the heels, just hang out wherever you are, but come up out of it a little bit so you have some tension through the hips. Then we'll take the hands to heart center, use your elbows to open up through the heels, and you can kind of go side to side, putting a little bit more weight in one foot and then the other. Just make sure not to sink into it and round your back. Kind of want to be a little bit more upright, side to side. Then from here, come to a seated position. Arms are coming out in front, but plug the arms into the shoulders and widen through the hands a little bit. Come up onto your tiptoes and lean back. Squeeze your legs together. Lift one foot off the ground. Make that leg as long as you comfortably can. And then we'll switch. We're just going to switch side to side here, getting a little bit of core activation. And if you're ready for more of a challenge, you can just hover your feet off the mat one at a time. And then we'll bend the knees, come to stillness, spread the toes, press the big toe mounds together, and then begin to twist just the upper body. So take a look at those knees and try not to let them shift as you move. Lift up out of the sternum. So your back is as neutral as it can be. You're not rounding at all. We'll do 3 more. If this is too much, just put one foot down or both feet down. 1 more each side. Great. Then lower slowly all the way down. Arms go back behind you. Pull your knees into your chest. Sit up. Woo! Little bit of a core activation. Let's do that again. Slowly extend. Arms back behind you. Sit up. Last time. Slowly extend. Go slower than you want to go. Arms back behind you. Sit up. Great. Now we'll put the left shin out in front, and you want that shin to be parallel to the edge of your mat. I'll face you. Then we'll take the right foot, stack that ankle right over top of the left knee. Now, I can always tell when my hips are tight because this knee will be way up high. If that's the case, no worries, you're just gonna breathe. If your knee is all the way down, you can lean forward and get a little bit deeper into that stretch. But for me, because my knee is up, it's just safer for me to stay here. So I'm gonna take a couple seconds to just breathe. Wherever you are, you just wanna try to find that nice stretch through the hips. Don't ever push on the knee, don't force it down. Eventually it'll get there. Maybe not today. But if your knee is touching your ankle, remember you're leaning forward, reaching the heart out in front of you rather than rounding the back. Try to keep a neutral spine. I always like to add a little bit of movement, so feel free if you want to reach one arm up and over. And then release and add a twist. I'm taking right hand to right foot and kind of pressing into that foot. Unraveling and taking it to the other side. So now that knee is really beginning to come down. And twist. And then now I can lean forward a little bit. Being really mindful of this top ankle, you don't want it to be bending too much, so you can really flex that foot, stiffen through the ankle so the ankle doesn't sickle. I just like a little wiggle side to side. And then let's extend this top leg out to the side. We'll bring this left foot to the inner right thigh. Use your right elbow in the inner right leg to give yourself a little bit of leverage so you can twist as you open up and reach out over the extended leg. Think about sending your ribs out to the side. Then as you breathe in, rise up, square your upper body over that extended leg. Slowly spider the fingers forward till you get something nice through the back or maybe the hamstrings or the inner thighs. And as you breathe in, rise up. We'll take the left hand towards the back of the mat. Put some weight in that bent knee shin and lift that leg up. Send your hips forward. Reach back with your upper arm. And exhale, lower down. Let's take it to the other side. So now right leg bends. Your shin, you want it to be parallel with the edge of your mat. So make sure the foot's not too close and not too far away. We'll take left ankle, step it on top of right knee, and just take a second and check in with where you are. You want to take a look down. You should see an inverted triangle when you look straight down. If you don't, then your legs are not quite positioned where we want them. So reposition as needed. Take a couple seconds here, breathe, be mindful of this top ankle. You're never going to force anything. So as you can see, like this leg is much more open than the right side. And sometimes that's just how it is. All right, let's add our twists. So let's take left hand to left foot, right hand behind you, big twist. And release, and we'll take that left arm up and over. Same thing other side, but let's do it in the opposite. So first we'll go up and over. Rise up, big twist, and grab hold of that knee. And then release. Now we can lean forward, do some wiggles. Cat-cows with the spine can feel really nice too. Basically, just explore whatever movement feels good for you, because we are often just too still. So lots of wiggles feels so good for the body. As you breathe and rise up, we'll take this top leg and extend it out to the side. And then take the right foot, bring it in towards the inner thigh. Use your left elbow to push into the left leg so you get some leverage and you can twist a little bit more as you come up and over and reach your right arm over the extended left leg. Flex left foot, spread left toes, and really reach beyond the toes. Trying to keep some length through the left side of the body though. Then as you breathe in, rise up. Rotate your upper body so it's facing your left leg, and then reach your heart past your toes. So it's just the intention. Obviously, like, your chest is not going to go past your toes, but it's just the intention. If I look down, then my spine flexes, and we've probably been in that position all day, so we're really trying to lengthen rather than round. As you breathe in, rise up, take your right hand towards the back of your mat, push down into that mat, and lift the hips up and back. Reach your top arm back behind you. In, exhale, and release. From here, we'll come in to sit in a crisscross position. Bring your hands to your shoulders, elbows point down. As you breathe in, sweep the elbows forward and up, drawing big circles, squeezing the shoulder blades as they complete that circle and then go in the opposite direction. Elbows back behind you, squeeze that circle, lift up, point the elbows forward. 2 more times each direction, lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades, then back behind you, lift up and forward and down. Last one, lift up, reach the elbows back behind you, point them down to the ground, and then reverse it. Great. From here, take your right arm up to the sky, bend at the elbow, reach back behind you. See if you can grab hold of the hand. If you can, awesome. If you can't, just have that intention, or you can grab hold of your shirt. You're just aiming to have this elbow point straight up towards the sky or the ceiling. Breathe into wherever you feel this tension. Sometimes it's in this upper tricep area. Sometimes it's in this lower arm, front of the shoulder. So just wherever you feel it, focus your awareness there and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you can even sigh, go. One more breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And slowly release, create some resistance that the arms have to move through. And we'll take it over to the other side. And you might find that this side you're not able to grab, or maybe you are able to grab. And whatever's happening is cool, just be mindful of it. See if you can point that elbow straight up rather than in towards your head. And just notice where you feel it. Maybe it's this left tricep, maybe it's the anterior shoulder on the right side. As you breathe, think about expansion through the lungs. So think about laterally expanding your ribs as you breathe. Exhale through the mouth. One more time, deep breath in through your nose. And exhale. Slowly release. Make those arms move through some resistance. We're going to take the arms out to the side. We're going to glide side to side as you twist the arms at the same time. Then come to stillness. Hands are irradiating, so you're creating a lot of tension through your arms. If I came around and tried to move your arm, it wouldn't go anywhere. So you're creating a lot of tension through the arms, through the hands, through the fingers. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Now squeeze your shoulder blades slightly together, and we're going to kind of pulse them back behind us. But you want to be sure that you're not like puffing out through your chest. It's not that. It's just a movement of the shoulder blades together and sort of down towards your back pockets. Check to make sure that your hands aren't too high. If your hands are too high, it's going to recruit the traps, and that's going to feel awful. So instead, if anything, the hands are at the shoulders or slightly below, and you're just squeezing the lower part of the shoulder blades together and then down towards your back pockets. We'll do this 10 more times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, feel the burn. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Then take your chin to your chest. And then lift your chin all the way up to the ceiling or the sky. Back down to the chest. And then imagine scraping your chin across your collarbone as you look towards the right, but don't move your left shoulder at all. Then tilt your head way, way back so you're looking up at the ceiling, slow motion. Go up and over to the end of the left collarbone with your chin, or you have that intention anyway, and then scrape the collarbone, or you have that intention anyway, as you make your way down to center. Then reverse it. Scrape your chin along the left collarbone, but don't let any other part of your body move. When you can't go anymore, let your head tilt way back. Now you're moving through a little bit of imaginary resistance as you come up and over, reaching the chin towards the right shoulder, right collarbone, the end of that collarbone, and then scrape the collarbone with the chin coming back to center. Once you're at center, breathe in, tilt your head all the way up and back. Breathe out, come back to center. Chin is parallel with the ground, and then breathe in, look to the right. Breathe out, back to center. Breathe in, look to the left. Breathe in, back to center. Open up your eyes, and that is our practice. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it felt really good. I know for me, after a long day of work, I've been driving, haven't been moving as much as I've been wanting to, so I just wanted to wiggle it out and feel really good, and it worked for me, so I hope it worked for you. Let me know how it went down in the comments section below, and I'll see you right here at the Yoga by Candace YouTube channel next week.